Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, students. Good morning, all are there in the class. I could hear the wishes from few girls only. What about rest class? Hmm? Okay. Now I was looking through the assignment. Yeah, I could find two students have submitted the assignment. That is Prasanna, you, Mesta, and Raina Rose Francis. Very good. Appreciate your work. And similarly, I asked students to make up and submit the assignment well in good time. Okay, which is awarded for 10 marks. Any difficulty in the assignment, let me know. We'll discuss in the class. And few students have not viewed, so it is you make a habit to check the notification and review the assignment what is being submitted or asked for to complete the assignment. Few reminders were there, requests were there from the teams to add the team members. So I've accepted all the requests. You can see here, as of now, there is no pending request made in, right? So with this understanding, we'll start with our content of your syllabus, right? So let us understand in the last class what we learned, right? So this is something you have to make a habit so that we remember and recall whatever we have learned in the previous class. Okay, let me go back to the first slide of the taking little time. So we started with Python basics, then we learned about flow control. Now you remember what are things with the Boolean values, mixed Boolean, and what is a different types of flow control statements available with us. What is the importing module? Can you recite what is flow control statements? How many flow control statements are there with us? Can you tell me? 8, 6, 7, 5, 4. How many?
7.
7. Okay, can you name them? Anyone in the class? You can go through that statement. I can look through the content and tell me what it is. Flow control statements.
If statement, else statement,
Yeah. Then,
elif statement,
yes, then. So what are these? These are the conditions what we are bringing up in the code, right? Telling if it is yes or no, what has to be taken up, what is the condition. How to write the code? It has always start with a keyword. Keyword can be if or else if, whatever it is, depending upon the flow control statement, what you have brought in the code. And similarly, you have to import module. Importing module is nothing but what is importing module? What do you understand by importing module? What do you understand by importing module? When the content, for example, module is nothing but you keep it in a meaning, a general meaning. Some meaning like it's a chapter which is there in the dictionary. The dictionary is your Python, right? In Python, that chapter is not there. So what I'm supposed to do, I have to call for it, import that module, which is existing elsewhere, right? That is called as importing module. What is program learning? Program early with system exit. When does this happen? Ending a program early with system exit. It's a function and it is a module. At first, before starting, we have to call for the module and tell that I want to exit the program. I don't want to continue further. So then you have to switch on to the code as exit system exit with a function. That's a function. Always you remember students, and I was telling you when the parentheses appear, you have to indicate that indicates that it is a function. Okay. Now the last bit function is the last bit available with us to learn more about it. We have to define the statements. We abbreviate it as def, define statements with parameters. We have to give return values, return statements, the null value, key arguments, and print local and global scope, the global statement, exception handling, a short program, and guess the number. A short program is a small project work you have to do it in the class upon understanding all the content of module 1. This is a short program. This is a project like you have to do it in the class only. You'll be asked to guess the number. You will be asked to write a program to guess the number. Okay. Now let us move on to the content of. Hope today you are all with the laptop at home. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. In between, I'll ask you to do small exercise and put it on the chat box. Okay? You be ready. It is not that, okay, I'm in the remote place, madam can't do anything. I know how to hold you students also. So I'll ask you to do some small exercise during the class hour and ask you to post it in the chat box. Okay, so this is the content. So what is a function? It is a mini program within a program. Actually, function itself is a program. Whenever we start writing a program, we obviously, definitely we go with a function statement. This 1, 2, and 3, you please understand students, this is telling how the code follows after 1, 2, and 3. The first line is a define statement. You have to define the statement for what you are calling for. You define a functions named as hello function. See, the parentheses are there. So it's a function you're defining as hello. The code in the block that follows the definition statement. So once you type this line, right, define function as hello parenthesis, then the next line after hello, whatever the line you write or you type, we call it as code in block, right? That will be code in block. Something like this you can see here. First line is, you can see here 1, 2, 3. 1 refers to the define statement. Can you see here? Yes or no?
Yes,
Huh? Huh. One
Yes, ma'am.
represent. Yes, very good. I think only girls are there in the class. What about boys? Arey, yaar, you respond. Huh? So statement 1 is referring to this line. Define hello. So I am defined. Keep in mind, students, I have kept also telling you that it always ends with a colon. Colon, I am defining a statement. Okay, which defines the function hello. The code in the block that follows the definition defines statement. So the code, that this is a code line. Next line. What is happening when I give a enter? Immediately the next line will follow with a indentation. Space is there, no? So print howdy. So I'll ask print howdy with some more exclamatory. Print hello there. So I'll ask all the 3 to print. Okay. So after define statement, I will be calling for the print statement, and the print statement will include the body of the function. It is including the body of the function. You can see this is the body of the function. I'm defining this function to print howdy with exclamation hello there, print whatever. Once you define any line with first code, whatever, then it will be followed by a print statement. So whatever you'll ask the print, it will print. Then the third line is, sorry, this line is, this code is executed when the function is called. So function, I'm calling the function. I'm not like, you should understand, I'm calling a function. So not when function is first defined. So I have to call the function, define function, and in the function, the code of line, I have to tell print howdy. Whatever you want to print, you can start printing it. The hello lines after the function, 3 are the functions call. So after this 3 is the thing. So after the hello lines, after the function 3 are the functions calls. Whatever you have called, these are the functions calls. These are the functions calls as hello, hello, hello. 3 hellos you are calling. So Why you are calling 3 times? Because you are asking to print 3 different names, right? Since this program calls hello 3 times, the code in the hello function is executed 3 times. You're calling the function, right? The hello lines after the function are function calls. So first you say define the statement, right? With a colon and hello. Then you ask a print 3 different types as a print. Then you say call the function. You have to call after defining, after asking to print. These are the 3 important steps you have to follow. After definition, after defining the statement as hello, I'll ask print. After print, you can say only one print also, it is possible. I'm just showing an example here. Then you have to ask for the hello with the 3 times. You're calling the function. Calling the function in what name? Howdy. See, this is the output you get it at. Howdy, howdy, hello, there. So these are the 3 times it will be repeated. 3 times it will be repeated. So this program calls hello 3 times. The code in the hello function is executed 3 times. When you run this program, the output look like this. You have, if you got laptop at home, you can try this exercise and do it. Others, now quickly, if you have a laptop at home, you quickly do this and take a snapshot and post it in the chat box. Others, write the small program in your book and put it in the chat box quickly. Everyone in the class. Got my question? I'll repeat. I'll repeat, everyone in the class, when you have laptop with you, you open the laptop, you would have already installed, right, Python. Now on Python, you execute this small program and that execution, put it on the notification chat box. In the chat box, you post it. Right? I'm waiting for your reply. If you don't have laptop, still you are yet to purchase. As of now, you write down with the proper indentation given. Write the same and write the output. Do it quickly. You know where's the chat box available in the MS Team? Here. You can post here as an image. I'm waiting for your reply. If you're taking time to open the laptop and do it, you write it on your book or a sheet with the result or the output with the define statement, print statement, and a hello statement. You're calling the function. This third code is called as calling a function. This is called as a code of block. This is you're calling a defining a function. First line defining a function. Second line you are calling a code in the block. Then you are calling a function. Quickly. Yes. What's happening? You're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, very good. Write the output also. Yes. You can see the screen. Varshini and Tamanna has posted. Mute yourself. Smriti has executed. Very good. Then you find what is the name? I'm not getting. It's good. You executed. Fine. Fine doing. Yes. Okay. Fine. Keep doing. If you have written, please post it. No problem. Till the end of the class. So now further we'll go with the functions with parameters. When you call the print statement, right, or lens with function, you have to pass in a value. That means, see, in print parenthesis, within the parenthesis, there is no value existing. So you have to pass in values. You have to pass in values, which is called as an argument, which is called as an argument. Okay, by typing them between the parentheses. For example, define functions that accept arguments. For example, you say it is a define hello name. You have already given the argument. You have already passed the argument. Argument is given. But in the previous example, the argument was not given here. Right? We just gave here and then we started telling howdy with a etc. But define statement didn't had an argument here. But here we are defining the statement with the argument. Define statement with the argument. So I'll say hello name. So print hello with a name. So what it will be printing? So I have to call. First step is I'm defining the statement. Second step is the code of block print. Then third thing is the what? What should be the third one? What is the third one here? Hello lines after the function are functions are being called. You're calling a function. So 3 steps it will follow. First you have to define, then you have to write the code of block, then you have to call for the function. Keep in mind three steps it involves when you're defining a statement. First you have to define the statement, then you have to write the code of block, then you have to call for the function. So I've defined hello name, then I'll ask for print whatever you want, whatever the way you want. I'll say print hello with the argument whatever I have passed here. Then I'm calling the function hello name. In place of name, I have to type it as Alice, C or Bob. I have to type it as a string value, right? So what is the answer you get it as? When you run this program, the output looks like this. Hello Alice, hello Bob. This is how it looks like. Okay. Okay, you're understanding? This is how it looks like. So define statement with parameters. What are the parameters? You're calling for the arguments. So what are the arguments? Define functions that accept arguments. So in the first thing, in the first line, I'm typing I'm just for example, I'm typing define hello with a name. Then I'm talking about the code. This is a code, right? As you see in the previous slide, What is this first line? Define statement. What is the second line? Code in the block, right? And what is the third line? You are calling the functions, right? So this is what is happening. And third is calling the functions. This is what it is happening. Hence, this is how you draft or you write the code. You write the code using a define statements. Is that clear? Yes? Yes, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then next. Then next, return values and return statements. So meantime, you do with this example. Meantime, you do with this example quickly. Quickly execute. Don't type it as 1, 2 and all that. You can try with any other names also. What about others? I could see only few posts. It's very easy defining the statements. It will consist of 3 contents. Defining the statements, def statement, then code in the blocks. Then third is calling a function calls. So this is how it appears. Okay. Now we'll go further with the return values and return statements. When you have to call for return statements and return values. So I'll zoom it so that you can visualize in a better way. This is fine. Now, when you call the len function, what do you mean by len function, students? What does that do? This function, len function, what does it do? When you call the len function, what does it do? This function, what will do? It will read the characters. If I pass an argument such as hello, what is the number of characters it is having? 5. HELLO. So you'll get the answer as 5. You'll get an integer, right?
5.
Yeah. Which is the length of the string you have passed it. In general, the value that a function call evaluates to is called the return value of the function. It is called as a return value of the function. When creating a function using the define statement, you can specify what the value should be in a return statement. This is the example what I have given with the importing a module, import module. Please understand first. return, sorry, define, get, answer. What is the, I'm calling the argument. I'm already defining the argument. What is the, sorry, passing the argument. What is the argument I'm passing? Answer number. So if answer number is equal to 1, return it as it is certain. If answer number is equal to 2, return it is decidedly so. If it is 3, return S. If return, so these are the example, I mean, these are the statements or the functions you'll be calling for, asking what are the different return values you are expecting. A return statement consists of the following words. That is a return keyword. Return is a keyword, right? Return is a keyword and value or expression that a function. You have to define a value for it and should return. See here, you can just see here 1, 2, 3. One is first you have to import, then you have to define what is the function you are calling for it, and you should have a return statement. In the third line, you can see if answer is equal to 1, then you have to give it the return statement. Right, this is an example I have. I think I don't have one more example to explain further. Maybe I'll take up one small example and explain in a better way also. Or you can try this. Students, can you try this? But you have to import the random. You can do it on your laptop. It should have the return statement. It should have, you are calling for it. So if is a function what you are using with a colon n. So telling that if this is correct, then you have to give the answer as it is certain. Else if it is not so, what it has to give. Further, there will be many elif. You can abruptly stop at one point and check what is the output. So this is how the return values and return statements will act upon in the code. Okay, we'll learn more in the class when I take up a physical class, right? With the return values and return statements with more number of examples. Now coming to the next, none value. What is a none value? None is nothing, right? As you understand, it is a nothing. For example, in Python, there is a value called as a none, which represents absence of a value. Something like this, a blank string, you remember? Blank string. We don't give any string character and it gives a blank string. You remember, students? Similarly, you have none. Blank string. So when no character exists, you find a blank string. So similarly here, we find a none value existing in Python, wherein the value will be 0 or something like this. None, which represents absence of a value. None is the only value of the none type, data type. Just like Boolean true and false value, none must be typed with a value with a capital as n. For example, spam is equal to print hello, which is none is equal to spam. So I'll say it as true. So I'm taking the none as, I'm equating none which is equal to spam, and spam is equal to print hello. And when I'm giving the print to hello, it will give the output as hello. And I'm telling that none is equal to spam. I'm just defining as none is equal to spam, which will give the Boolean values as true. So none is something like you can use this code in between the code lines. Something like I have not used in the first line of the statement of the code. I have taken it in the third code line, right? In Python, there is a value called as none, which represents the absence of a value. So at first I'm not defined, but here I'm defining as none is equal to spam. But what is spam? I'm defining, which will be, you will be printing as hello. And this hello will be taken and which will be defining as a true. So just like Boolean true and false value, none must be typed with a capital as n. Sometimes it will take as n also. Sometimes it will take as none also. This is only a one code which we use very rarely as a none value. I'm defining a none as a representing the absence of any value. But if you are defining prior to that, what is a none value, you can absolutely get that the Boolean values, whether it is true or false. Then coming to the key arguments and print, sorry, keyword arguments and print. What is keyword argument? And what is a print? We'll understand in a better way. Keyword arguments are identified by the keyword, but put before them in the call function. Keyword arguments are often used for optional parameters. I'll repeat. Keyword arguments are identified by the keyword, but put before them in the function which is being called. Keyword arguments are often used for optional parameters, right? For example, you can see here with the example here, print as hello, print as world, and output word like look like this, hello world. Then set the end keyword argument. This is the argument, whatever you have passed in. Then you'll find the keyword argument and that will be printed. Okay. I'll be taking up this and more in the class because you be fine with the interaction and all that. This is local and global scope, and this is exceptional handling. Okay. Now I'll go with a small exercise in the class, students. Okay. There's a small video which I would like to play here in front of you for your better understanding. Okay. You would be knowing all this before also because I was telling number of uh, videos are available with us to understand. You can always browse and understand more in picture. This is a positional arguments.
I have this program to add two numbers from the last video.
You can have this video. Video is audible to you, students, when I play this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Okay, this was a small video telling about how the arguments are passed and how the values are being given to run the function. Okay, students. So now I can see some good notifications on the chat box. Okay. So with this, I'll end the class, students. There are 38 students available in the class. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. With this, I'll end the class. You continue with your next class, right? With the 10 minutes early, I'm leaving so that you can have a good break and continue with the next session. Okay, we'll meet you in the class on Monday with a regular basis, and we'll discuss more about these topics where you learn, understand in a better way. Thank you all students. I'll download the attendance here. Don't worry, already downloaded and taken care of it. Thank you all. You can leave this class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.